Man, if only there's a way to charge this phone. Wait a minute. What's this? Oh, rad. If you have a 2019 Indian Scout or Indian Scout bobber, you don't need to worry about this because you already got one. But for us poor people that have a 2018, you might want this. At the time of filming this, it's worth $210 Canadian. I don't know what that is in American, but yeah, she ain't cheap. So up until this point, we've been using this battery tender, whatever you want to call it. Plugs into your tender cord, charge up, no problem. Don't want to use that. You want to have an actually permanently mounted option. There's some other options out there, I'm sure. Check out Open Rotor's channel. He's got an install that he did. Ollie will link the video. And if you don't want to do that, and you want to be a sucker like me and buy some Indian branded stuff, then here we go. Let's open her up and see what we got. Box is very nice. I do love it. They always do a nice job of packaging their stuff. Got some handy dandy instructions. Now I will go over the part numbers so I know if you have a, well, actually, you know what? It's got it right here. If you've got an Indian Scout bobber, a 2018, then there's your part number. And if you've got a 19 or newer Indian Scout 60, maybe the Scout. Why would your 19? I thought all 19s had it. Doesn't matter. If you don't got it, there's your part numbers. But I thought it all came standard. Shows what I know. I know nothing. I'm just a guy. So you get all new housing. It comes with the cutout for the port. What else we got here? Got some wiring harness. Ground cable, looks like. And the actual plug. So let's tear into that bike and get this thing in. So we're going to be working on the bobber. If you guys have a different Scout, don't worry about it. The kit instructions cover all the stuff you need to know. Whatever you have, whether it's a Scout, Scout 60, Scout bobber, doesn't matter. They got you covered. So we got the bike blocked up in a secure position. We're going to go ahead and remove the nacelle cover. There are 2 bolts, 2 here, 1 here. They are a 6mm Allen key, and we're going to remove the Speedo bezel, and I think that's also 6mm. So we'll go ahead and get our tools and get that crap off. Got that exposed. So on the bobber, you're going to have power right there that you're going to click into. So it's super easy. If you had an older model bike, you would be using this wire extension here. That would click into the port that will be added to the new one, and you would have to remove your tank and run this all the way back to the underneath here. There's a hidden wire that you plug into, hook your ground, hook your power, and run that up. But on the bobbers, they've already got that done for you, which is great. So we don't need this guy. We're going to set it aside. But we'll finish taking off this Speedo bezel, protect the tank with the towel we got there. I should grab a longer one. So to release this clip, there's this little tab right there. You're gonna press it in and pull. Just like there, just like that. And there is the pin. So you kind of see how it kind of levers. So you press and pull. And we take this guy back to the bench and work on it. So we're going to release the bezel from the housing. There's 2 screws here. They're just a T20 Torx bit. So lift that off. So there is the old housing. And you can see it left behind the seal there. And make sure you put it in the right way. Don't put it in upside down. Don't want to be doing that. So the bezel sits this way. The USB port's on the outside. That guy fits in just like that. We'll line up those. Well, looks like it's even got, oh, it's got keyways, so you can't mess it up. Let's seat that guy in. We'll refasten these T20 screws. Like that. So we got those in. We grab our USB adapter. We remove this collar. And I believe the flap lifts up. All right, of course I don't feed it that way. I feed it from the inside. So you got that little gasket there to kind of keep the water out. So that guy feeds like that. And that guy presses in. So we feed him on. And it just clicks into place. You'll hear that click. There it is. There we go. So we've got our bezel on. And we've got a little USB port. So we'll go ahead and back to the bike and fire this guy on. So we'll go ahead and reattach our cable here. There we go. I'm going to feed this down. So feed this wire down and follow it along the cable that you just replugged back in. Just like that. So I'm going to use a little Loctite, just a dab. These are my handlebar bolts. Don't need to be permanent, just the blue stuff's fine. Okay, so before we get too crazy here, I'm gonna go ahead and sit on the bike to make sure my bars are where I want them. You know, if I was smart, I would have marked them out, but that's right there is where they were. So it's a little snug, just to hold them in place. So I'm happy with them. I did have a mark on my panel bars to where I had it positioned left and right. So snug these down. Nice and even. And we'll double check torque spec on those guys. Got our manual here. Number 6 is our bolts, telling us that we want to be at 22 foot-pounds. So tighten the front, then the rear. So we set this guy. We got some open rotor Chris making sure we're doing our jobs right. Hi. It's quite the beard. So, like the manual said, we will do the front bolts first. There we go, torqued. Excuse me, guys. So I've got my heated grip stuff tucked in here. So we're going to go ahead and feed this in. And there is your USB plug. That's it. That is literally all you need to do. So go ahead and button this back up. You know what? Let's test this guy out before we get too crazy here. So grab our charger, open up our port. How's that guy go in? At the top. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Nope. Maybe the bike needs to be on. Bike needs to be on. So that's a switch source. So good to know. That is a switch source. Can't leave that. Can't kill your battery. There we go. We got charging. Success. So let's get this nacelle bolted back up. Go ahead and run those bolts down. I don't know torque spec on those, just make it German, good and tight. And yeah, excuse me. Got the old rock form mount, just like that. Probably run this cable around a couple times so it's out of the way. Make sure your bike's on. Boom. Done and done, guys. Just like that. What can I say? Like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and see what else we can do. Maybe we'll do something with that old headlight there. Thanks, guys. See you next time.